The National Urban League has unveiled its 2024 State of Black America report. This year's report focuses on the Civil Rights Act of 1964, 60 years later, and the threat to multiple attempts to dismantle it. The report also talks about and has a special section dedicated to the Biden administration. The League takes a look at the promise of his campaign and what the White House has been able to accomplish over the last 3 years. Let's bring in the president and the CEO of the National Urban League, Mark Morielli. Always love having the mayor with us.
Michelle's husband.
And Rev, we'll throw it to you for the first question.
Yes, thank you, Mark. We all in the civil rights community and generally in the country look forward to the National Urban League report because we can talk rhetoric, we can all say we've made progress or we're doing bad, but the numbers don't lie. Tell us what the report is this year, because this really, all of us that lead civil rights organizations, all of us that are just involved citizens, want to know where we are. And therefore, as we go into an election season, who can best handle from where we are to where we need to go?
Well, thank you, Reverend. And so first, the bottom line is the number for this year is 76%. That represents, Rev, a improvement of slight nature over the last several years. But at this pace, we're 180 years away from parity. Number two, we are 60 years after the Civil Rights Act of 64. Has that act worked? It has made a profound difference in America. You and I, or Mika, would not be on this set this morning, but for the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The changes to America are profound, but we have not come as far as we would have imagined, or as far as Dr. King and Whitney Young and those of the 1960s would have imagined, and that's the point. The third point is we are facing headwinds and a resistance movement. Attacks on DE&I, which are really nothing but an attack on equal economic opportunity. An attack on voting and by voter suppression and gerrymandering, over 1,000 bills in state legislatures across the nation. And a campaign of ugly, nasty hate and rhetoric directed at the progress we've made as a nation. So we're strong and we're resilient, and we've made some progress, but we're facing the biggest resistance and the biggest attack we've faced in a long time.
When we talk about resistance, I think a lot of people miss in the last year with the Supreme Court, we have lost affirmative action. We've lost Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, women's right to choose. So there has been some concrete, very clear legal setbacks. But at the same time, we're seeing some progress that you've, in the report, have a section on Joe Biden. When we compare Biden, I mean, we have the unique opportunity to compare two presidents. Trump was there 4 years. Biden was there 3 years so far. How did blacks do? Trump never promised black America anything, thanked them for not voting. Biden said, I wouldn't be here without you. How's he done?
So 2 quick points. One, the Supreme Court was changed by Donald Trump.
Right.
These decisions, the attack on reproductive rights, the sanctioning of gerrymandering, the overturning of affirmative action, are a fruit of the 3 justices that Donald Trump appointed to the Supreme Court. Here's the facts. Joe Biden substantially fulfilled the commitments in his plan to black America with important unfinished work. Police accountability is unfinished. A reparations commission is unfinished. Voting rights are unfinished. And many of these were thwarted in the United States Senate by the filibuster, by Manchin's, if you will, objection to portions of the plan. But we've got to say that Ketanji Brown Jackson and Kamala Harris and the appointments to the judiciary and the Federal Reserve and the reduction in black unemployment. When Donald Trump left office, the black unemployment rate was nearly 10.
Right.
Now it's down to 5%. So when we look at the facts, what's clear is that Joe Biden's record, he's substantially, if you will, fulfilled a number of his commitments. But there's some things undone, and there's some work that has to be done, and we got to make that point as well.
Well, Trump has given us some gold red bottom sneakers, but I'm sorry.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's right.
Overpriced
And
at that.
he identifies so well with the black community. Rev, you're headed to Selma, Alabama this Sunday for a live Politics Nation right after the annual bridge crossing. Who will be joining you this year?
Well, a lot of the leaders that come from around the country to cross the bridge will be live with me from Selma, as well as some of those that have kept this tradition going. It's like a rites of passage that many of us go to march across that bridge. That was the site of where in 1965 John Lewis and Miss Boynton and Hosea Williams were beaten, among others, which led to the Civil Rights Act. And I think it's more important than ever this year in this election season to remind us that all of us did not just automatically get the right to vote. Blood was shed. We're going back there. The vice president is going to be there this year and others. We're going back there this year to say that we must use our vote because it was paid for under bloodshed on this bridge.
President and CEO of the National Urban League, Mark Morial, thank you. The group's 2024 State of Black America report is out now. And Rev, thank you. We'll be watching tomorrow.